Hi everybody, my name is Kevin Shannon, and today I would like to tell you the story of Achmed the Camel Rancher. This is a mathematical magic trick, and the good news for you is, at the end, you're not going to have to learn any complex secret. If you just listen to the story and repeat the story back, the magic performs itself. It's mathematical and it always works. So here is the story of Achmed the Camel Rancher. Achmed was 90 years old, and he was in ill health. So he called to his bedside his 3 sons to tell them how he wanted to divide up his fortune amongst them. He called over his first son. He said, "Son, I am 90 years old. You were born when I was 45. You've been with me 45 years, which means you've been with me 1/2 of my life, and therefore I am giving you 1/2 of my fortune." He calls over his second son. He says, "Son, you were born when I was the ripe old age of 60 years old. You have been with me 1/3 of my 90 years, and therefore I am giving you 1/3 of my fortune." He calls over his youngest son. He says, "Son, you are only 10 years old. You were born when I was 80 years old, long after people thought it was possible. You've been with me 10 years, which is 1/9 of my 90 years, and therefore I'm giving you 1/9 of my fortune." And with that, he breathes his last breath and passes on to that great camel ranch in the sky. Now his boys pause a moment to bereave him, and then immediately run off to divide up his fortune. His fortune is pretty much camels. He has 17 of them, and there are 17 camels pictured here. The boys start to figure out the mathematics of dividing this up, and they quickly realize they have a problem. Son number 1 expects to get 1/2 of his father's fortune, but 1/2 of 17 camels comes out to approximately 8.5 camels. The second son is supposed to get 1/3 of the fortune, and 1/3 does not work out much better. It comes out to about 5.6. And the final son, who's supposed to get 1/9, would get about 1.8 of a camel. Either way, whichever way you work the mathematics, somebody is getting a portion of a camel. And that does not work out good for any of them, especially the camel. So the boys decide they cannot figure this out on their own, and they go to the town wise man. You see, thousands of years ago, every town had a town fool and a town wise man. In some of the towns, it was the same person. In this one, they had their own unique wise man, and they explained their mathematical dilemma to him. And he pondered it for a few moments, scratched his beard, and suddenly his eyes widened, and he had a solution. He said, "Boys, I know what I'm going to do. I am going to give you one of my own camels." And with that, he adds an 18th camel to their lot. The boys are like, "No, no, no, we cannot take your camel. That's not right." He says, "Boys, believe me, let's go through the math. I think this will work out good for everyone." The boys said, "Fine. Okay, now we have 18 camels. The first son is supposed to get 1/2 of the camels, and 1/2 of 18 is 9. So he takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The second son is supposed to get 1/3 of the camels. And 3 6s are 18, so he gets 6 of the 18 camels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The final son is supposed to get 1/9 of the camels, and 1/9 of 18 is 2. So he takes his 2 camels, and the wise man takes back his camel, and everybody goes away happy. And that, my friends, is the story of Achmed the Camel Rancher. Now you can perform this exactly the way I did if you want to draw out camels on a piece of paper. Another way that I've done it in the past is just taking 17 playing cards and telling the story with 17 playing cards laid out and go through the math. And then I come in as the wise man and I add one extra card to the pile to make it 18. We go through the math, and mathematically the wise man always gets his camel back. The boys all get full camels without having to chop one in half. I hope you enjoyed the story, and if anybody actually figures out the mathematics, maybe you can do a show me and explain to me exactly how it works.